Hey everyone, Crazy Canuck coming at you again from Saskatchewan, Canada. Another day of minus 40 wind chills. Lots of snow out there. We've got probably more snow than we've had in many, many years. Today I'm going to be doing a little home project. Thought I'd bring you along. As we get into the effects of the grand solar minimum, there's going to be some things that happen. You're going to find it difficult to find things, or if you can find them, they're going to be a lot more pricey. So that's going to, I think, spur the economy of fixing. You're either going to have to learn how to do it yourself, or you're going to have to find somebody who can fix things instead of just throwing them away and getting something new. And today I have decided I am going to replace our vanity top in the bathroom. This is a piece of Spalted Tamarack that I have done a book match. You can see the pair here. The line is in the middle here where I've joined them. So you've got this book match effect, and I've finished it with a latex varnish, and it's obviously got a live edge. So this is what's going to go in the bathroom now, and I will show you what we have. So this is what's in the bathroom now. When we renovated this place, I just threw some tile, thinking, it'll match the floor. But instead I want to put something that will match our trim, which is spruce 1x4s. And that was before I got the sawmill. So now I've cleared everything off. I've turned off the zone plumbing. That's these taps here. I always put in zone plumbing on everything so you don't have to turn all the water off in the entire house. I'm going to disconnect those hoses. I'm going to disconnect the drain and unscrew the top and pull that off and get to the next stage. So I'm going to do all this rough work here, kind of get things exposed, and then I'll bring you back for the next step. Well, timing is everything. I took the drain off and this pipe was all rotted off. It just came out, it just broke. So I guess I'll be replacing that as well. Always expect the unexpected. So I got the drain off, I've got the lines disconnected. Looks like I have two screws to disconnect up there. There's one there, one on the other side. And then I'll get this thing pulled off and we'll take the sink off, because this is silicone. This type of sink is just siliconed in. There's no clamps holding it down. So I'll get that all done. Get this top off, and then we'll go to the other top and I'll show you what the plan is. Well, there you have it. The top is off, and you can see what I did here. This was just a really cheap cabinet. If I was doing this for a client, I'd never recommend something this cheap. But I put this nailer on here, screwed it to the studs, and that's what I'm attaching the top to. And yeah, these things are built pretty flimsy. So what I'm going to do now is bring the top in. I'm going to show you how to do some minor adjustments, and then we'll get it cut to size. So I got the top in here, and as you can see, when you're doing a renovation, especially in an old building, the corners are not very square, but this is all right. This is less than ½ of an inch away from the wall in the corner. The backsplash I'm putting on is going to be 3/4, so it'll cover that really nice. Also, I'm going to actually cut this end to go against the wall. This end will be just trimmed up square, and then sanded and finished, and that'll be the better side, because this side has the more feature on it. It's got the knots, it's got some nice spalting, bug holes, everything. This side has got more checking and stuff like that, so I'd rather cut this end off than to cut the other end off. So I'm going to go put this out on the table for cutting, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Okay, so since this edge here is going to be just a light trim to kind of finish it off, and I'm just going to put some tape on here just to help with any kind of splintering that might happen, just to be on the safe side. This side, I've determined I'm going to come in, I'm going to take out that, or angle it for the corner. So I'm going to come in here at 5 inches on this end and 4.5 on that end. So I'll do the same with the tape. Whoops, trying to do this one-handed, works really well. So we'll get that on there. So that'll cover that line. I'll throw a couple more strips on here and get this flipped over and set up the tools. So since I don't have a fancy track saw, what I did was took my square and I put a couple washers under it and then a couple small clamps. I put some cardboard underneath here so it doesn't mar up the good side of the top. And I put the washers so that the rounded edge on the saw doesn't ride up on top of the square and throw everything out of whack. So I'm going to cut this off and hopefully it works, but since I've got 5 inches to work with on the other end, if something goes wrong on this end, I can always cut it back a little bit more and cut less on the other side. You always want to make sure your good side is done first. If you did your other side and had it all fitting and then did this side and something went wrong, you'd be starting over from scratch. And of course, safety first. And I'll get this all cut up here and come back. So there it is. That turned out really, really nice. Did a nice cut. I've got a really good sharp blade on there, and all this will take now is a little bit of sanding, varnish the end, get it all finished up. I got no blowout anywhere, which is good. Everything worked. So now I'll cut off the other end and we'll give it a trial fit and see how it looks. There it's put in for a trial fit and it looks pretty good. I'll just peel back this tape. And that edge is clean. Very nice. No tear out at all. Now, if I was doing this for a client and not myself, one trick that there is to cut along this edge all the way up to this, say this point here, and then leave this end a little bit proud so that you can put it right against the wall, and if you have to sand off with just a hair just to get it to fit perfectly, then you can do that. But this is for myself, so basically it's good enough. I always take a little more time with somebody else's than I do with my own. Looks good, so I think now is a good time to get this screwed down. And what I'm going to do is, there was the two locations in the back here where the screws were. The other top, I never had anything else holding it down and there was never any issue. This one, I think I'm going to put another two clamp or screw points on the front to hold everything nice and stable. And then I'll have to tear the sink out of that other top and use that top possibly as a template for cutting this out. Or I just might do it the old-fashioned way and use the sink itself, but I'll see how that goes. But I'm going to go and see if I can find some screw down clamps, and I'll be back. Alright, I tore that old countertop apart because there was one piece of plywood, and I'm going to use this as a template. I've put some little spacers of cardboard so I don't scratch the top too bad. And I'll get this template up here, just like that. I've already got a center line marked right there. I've got a center line from the old countertop that I put in, so I'll just line those up just like that. Yeah, that looks good. And I'm going to take a red felt marker and go all the way around. Doesn't have to be pretty, because all it has to do is be big enough for the sink to drop in. So that's marked. I am going to punch a hole, probably right in about here somewhere, and then take the jigsaw and go around and cut it all out, and then the sink will fit back in. So I gotta go get some more tools. Alright, so I got this edge is sealed, sanded this edge and sealed it up. I'll give it a final touch once I get it installed. Got this all marked out, got a hole drilled. I'm putting tape on the bottom of the jigsaw so I don't scratch anything, and I'm also going to run tape around the outside of where I'm cutting. That way I don't scratch the surface and end up causing more problems. So I'm going to finish taping this up, get this cut out, and go from there. So there, the hole's cut out. Top is on. The inside where I've cut this out, I'm going to seal up with silicone right here, because you don't want to get moisture in here and have it get the wood moving, because that would be a real disaster. Even do this if there's an MDF countertop and you put a sink in. It's always a good idea because MDF will swell. So I'm going to get that sealed up, and then we're going to trial fit the sink. So stay tuned. There, it actually fits. So that'll be it for this video. This will be a two-parter. This will be the first part, just getting this top on. The second part is going to be putting on the backsplash. Not 100% sure on what I'm going to do there. I have a few ideas, and that video should be coming shortly. But there you have it. Some nice spalted Tamarack off the sawmill, book matched into a vanity countertop with a live edge. So as usual, like if you like, subscribe if you haven't, spread the word, and we'll see you soon.